This Fleet Equipment Unscripted interview is presented by Hendrickson, a leading manufacturer of heavy-duty suspension systems and components to the global commercial transportation industry. Visit hendrickson-intl.com to learn more.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Morgan, Content Director for Fleet Equipment, and welcome to Fleet Equipment Unscripted. Today we're talking with Kenny Veith, President and Senior Analyst at ACT Research. Kenny, thanks for taking the time. Great to see you.
Great to see you, Jason. Glad to be with you. It's like our annual between the holidays tradition at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I want to say this is year 4. I feel like we're on year 4. I appreciate you always being there. It's always that fun time of the year when I get to call you, and we get to go through the year that was. So we'll kick it off right here. Hey, how is the year going to end in the trucking market here in 24?
Well, you're asking hard questions. So yeah, we've seen actually, I think the story last year was the industry was bifurcated with strong vocational and weak tractor, and then of course the tractor market kind of surprised us with its strength through the course of 2024. But I think, given that 12-month lead, I think we can safely say that at the end of the year, the vocational market is strong and the tractor market is softening.
Yeah, and I do have to go back. I did go back and look at your predictions from last year, and you did nail the vocational market. That was one of the bullet points, a strong vocational market going into this year. So that's good. You mentioned the Class 8 sales. They were really strong here in the first maybe 2 quarters of the year, if memory serves. Any other surprises stick out to you as you've gone through the year in the different segments?
Sure, and we can drill down a little bit here. So I think the strength in the tractor market in 2024 was really private fleets taking market share from for-hire carriers. So we think over the past 6 quarters, granted a little bit more than just 2024, we think that private fleets have added about 5 percentage points of market share, or taken 5 percentage points of market share from the for-hire carriers. And then to dig a little bit deeper on the vocational story, back in 21 and 2022, there were about $2 trillion of stimulus that were put into play. The CHIPS Act, the the Inflation Reduction Act, and the Infrastructure and Jobs Act. Oh, that was tough to get to, but those three acts again combined about $2 trillion, and currently we're only about 40% of the way through that spend. So very nice tailwinds as we're looking into next year for the vocational guys.
Very good. So speaking of next year, now is that favorite time. We get to put you to the test to break out the crystal ball and look at what's coming down the line for 25. Because, I think, if I can set the stage a little bit, some interesting developments here. You mentioned the funding that's still yet to come. I know that you all have, took a stab at revising some of the 25 outlook here earlier in the year. I've heard a lot of talk about all the GHG and EPA 27 engines and murmurings of pre-buy. So from where you sit here today, what are we looking at going into 25?
So our top line forecast, and maybe back up our 2024 forecast, we're going to end up somewhere between 320 and 325,000 units on a North American basis. Our forecast for 2025 right now is 301,000 units. If I was going to choose based on what we know today, we would probably add a little bit more to our vocational forecast. So take the over on the 301 and maybe push it as high as about 320. So almost flat on a year-over-year basis is probably again, knowing what we know right now, that's the call. The private fleets in 2024, we think that somewhere around 25,000 units of tractor activity in 2024. While it's 3 years away from the regulation in 2027, do you call it a pre-buy? But certainly it was a a bringing down of the fleet age, and again going out and actually capturing some market share for the for-hire fleets. We think the story this year in 2025, the for-hire fleets still don't have a lot of money to do a whole lot of pre-buying. So this, I think, the industry's focus is going to be convincing that vocational truck buyer that he needs to buy some extra trucks in 25.
For sure, and we do have a new administration coming in that is already prompting some to question what could be driving it here going forward too in the next year. One quick question for you too. As you're putting these together, we actually started this like in the midst of the pandemic, I believe, right? And we're 4 years removed from the start of it there. And I know that we've always talked about that being such an event that had thrown a lot of the traditional thinking and predictions and models kind of a curveball there. Do you see us coming out of that? Do you still see ripples of the post-pandemic world in the market? Just kind of interested in your view on what's been the impact there currently.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question, and I think largely the supply challenges from 2021 and the kind of the pent up demand in the market was largely worked through. Whether we were looking at tractors and trailers, certainly you could probably make the argument that if we look at automatic transmissions have been very hard to come by the last few years. And so if there are maybe some pockets of pent up demand left, it would be that vocational truck buyer who can finally get that automatic transmission that he's been waiting for, or she has been waiting for.
Yeah, very cool. Very interesting. Kenny, I appreciate you taking the time. Always one of my favorite interviews of the year. Great to talk truck market with you. I'm sure we will talk to you again next year. We'll continue this tradition.
Likewise, Jason, thanks for the time. Enjoy it, and have a great holiday season.